everybody. Yes, welcome back to another holiday episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear. Yeah, and then we discuss them over a glass of holiday cheer. I'm your holly jolly host, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here today by Ebenezer Scrooge herself, Kat Halstead, the author.
You know what? I thought you were going to call me a Grinch, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to drop the G word on you, so.
I mean, I thought that's what was coming, considering how heated this is going to get.
I live to see another day. Yes, we just had a pre-show argument over today's topic. Yeah.
We both have a lot of feelings.
Oh, all right. So I'm going to let you drop the name of the movie. Yes, we're doing a movie today. It's movie night here at AVS. Get ready. Pop your popcorn.
Yes, apparently this is a classic. I disagree with it being a classic. I find it boring and I want to go to sleep after watching it.
Oh,
It is the Frank Capra flick, It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay, you were like dragging that sentence. I was like, are you just going to say the name of the movie, girl?
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is this called?
You forgot the name of the greatest movie ever written, produced, directed.
Gone with the Wind!
All right, I want to throw this out there. I've never seen Gone with the Wind. I've only seen parts of it.
Okay, we're watching it next year for its 80th anniversary.
All right. Or we're going to watch it. We're going to have a Gone with the Wind weekend this weekend. Because the movie's like 11 hours long, isn't it?
It feels way less long than this one felt. This one felt like it aged me in good 12 years. Do I look 37 all of a sudden? Because I feel like I look 37 after watching this.
It's a 2-hour movie. If it fills the same block of time that one of your like shitty Hallmark movies.
No, it doesn't. This took like 5 times longer than a Hallmark movie.
Nope. If this was on TV, it would be 2 hours. It would be 2 hours, girl. And your Hallmark movies are on a 2-hour block, so
Hallmark movies are way more entertaining than this.
They're all the fucking same. They all starred that shitty Candace Cameron Bure. Not a gal pal, by the way. Not a gal pal.
Yes, she is. Candace Cameron Bure is a gal pal.
Do you know who?
Patrick's lying.
Do you know who is a gal pal? Donna Reed, who's in this movie. Yes, Donna Reed.
Queen Donna.
The late great. Is she dead? I don't even know.
But Donna Reed is the best part of this movie.
What? You don't like Jimmy Stew? You don't like little J Stew?
Oh my god, he bores me in this.
All right. Well, they all can't be winners, Kat Halstead, the author, and you're the one who fucking picked this movie, so.
I did not pick this.
I said.
You picked it.
No, I said, let's do a Christmas classic. And I said, White Christmas is on Amazon. And then you said, well, we'll do It's a Wonderful Life. And I said, okay.
No, there's no fucking way on this planet I turned down White fucking Christmas for this. No fucking way. No fucking way at all.
Well.
No.
Well, I'll go find myself.
You are lying right now. There's no fucking way I turned down one of my absolute favorite Christmas movies, A White Christmas, for this.
Oh. Let's find myself a guardian angel who can look over our lives and go back to the day in like August where we picked our Christmas movies. And I said...
Was I drunk?
Yeah, maybe you were day drunk. I don't know. Maybe...
I don't think it was. I don't drink that often.
Maybe you didn't have Christmas on your mind because it was like August when we picked these fucking things. And I said, let's do White Christmas. And you said, maybe. And then you said, you know what? Let's do It's a Wonderful Life. And I said, okay. And I added it to the list.
I never would have suggested It's a Wonderful Life, ever.
Oh, my God. If you side with me, tweet us an angel emoji. Is there an angel emoji?
Yes, there's an angel. Fuck this. Now I know how things are going to go because everybody always sides with Patrick.
Yes.
Fucking A.
Because you're fucking Ebenezer Scrooge. All right.
Yes, I'm Ebenezer Scrooge as I'm sitting here doing a Christmas watercolor.
Yeah, wear your Charlie Brown Christmas sweatshirt.
It's a t-shirt. It's not a sweatshirt.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. All right. Do you want to get into the top 5 movies released in 1946, which happens to be the same year as
Yes, please.
It's a Wonderful Life? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to count backwards. We're going to count back from 5 to 1. So get ready, girl. Get ready. Buckle up. Hop on your sled made out of a shovel, and let's go. Let's go. You ready?
Yeah, let's get this done.
All right. Coming in at number 5, it's a drama, film noir, romance, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Cary Grant, Ingrid Bergman. Notorious. Ooh, God. Do you know this one? Have you ever seen it?
I don't know this one.
Okay, so this was a woman is asked to spy on a group of Nazi friends in South America. How far will she have to go to ingratiate herself with them? Who knows? I don't know. This is like I don't know, an undercover boss type scenario, but in Nazi times.
Yeah, gosh, yikes.
Yeah, starring Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman. So yeah, I've never seen it, but I don't know. Maybe we'll check it out next year for Alfred Hitchcock November, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, you ready for number 4?
Yeah, what's number 4?
All right, it's post World War II, so we got all these fucking war movies coming out now. The Best Years of Our Lives, starring Myrna Loy, Dana Andrews, and Frederick March. Ooga.
Okay.
This is about 3 World War II vets. They return home to small-town America to discover that they and their families have changed. Yeah, times have changed, girls. Times have changed.
Which makes sense considering.
Yeah, it's a new era. The Rockford Peaches and the Racine Bells have changed the face of America. Women, yes, women are now playing baseball. I bet the men weren't prepared for that.
They were not.
Yeah, so I bet you that's what's happening in small town America when 3 World War II vets come home. They see Jeannie Davis and Madonna.
They're like, why are women wearing pants?
Yeah, why are they making rivets? What are these girls doing making rivets? Us burly men are supposed to make rivets.
Why aren't they wearing a dress and just sitting around in curlers?
Yeah, well, someone had to run the country while the boys were away shooting Nazis. All right, you ready for number 3?
Yeah.
Starring our old-timey boy toy, Henry Fonda, My Darling Clementine. Ooga.
God, I'm done. Oh my God. What is that? Our old-timey boy? What?
Is Cat Halstead walking off the podcast right now? Is this Home Alone 2? Is this Home Alone 2? We gotta start over? Should we start the theme song all over again?
Oh my God, I don't know what just happened. No, just go. Continue, please.
All right. Do you know this one? Do you know My Darling Clementine?
No.
And it's about the Earps battle the Clantons at the Oak Corral in Tombstone, AZ, Arizona. Ooga.
Okay.
You ready for number 2?
I'm terrified now, but let's do it.
Get ready for a crime drama, The Big Sleep. Ooga.
Okay.
This started Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall. This is about a private dick. Philip Marlowe is hired by a rich family. Before the complex case is over, he's seen murder, blackmail, and what might be love. So, old Bogey might have fallen in love with Lauren Bacall. She's probably a femme fatale, maybe.
Okay. We don't get movies like that anymore, do we?
No, because Humphrey Bogart is dead. Speaking of old-timey boy toys. They're in there.
Oh my God.
Callan Alcaz. I feel like every movie made before 1950 had Callan Alcaz said in at some point. Am I right?
Almost. Oh my God. I wish you guys could just see the look on my face while he's talking. Oh my God.
Not as surprised as I've seen it look before, but you definitely your face is red for a hot minute while you were giggling over there. Dr. Giggles on me.
I just don't know what's happening.
We're recording a podcast, girls. We're recording a podcast. All right. You ready for the number 1 movie of 1946?
Yeah, let's hear it.
And the movie we're about to roll into, and probably the greatest movie of all time. It's a Wonderful Life, guys. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Not to be confused with It's a Bundeful Life, the Married Children version of this.
Now that I can watch over and over again.
All right. Well, maybe after record, maybe we'll have the old marathon of the 2 episodes of Married Children, in which they spoof this, and it's our Sam Kinison as Clarence-like angel. As a wisecracking Clarence?
Maybe.
All right. Do you want to hear a hot scoop? I was doing a little while I was watching this movie because it's, I don't know, as you said, 8 hours long. I was on the wiki. I was on the old Wikipedia, and they the Family Channel, from an old timey Family Channel, pre Fox Family, pre ABC Family, pre Freeform, and I don't know whatever else they called it over the years.
Yeah.
In 1990, they made a sequel to It's a Wonderful Life called Clarence. It starred Robert Carradine as Clarence, and I don't know, it was like a hot Clarence came back to Earth and did the same thing all over again.
Okay, I don't know what life is anymore.
Well, I mean, they did make a remake of Christmas in Connecticut in 1992, also on TNT or something. So yeah, I guess the early 90s was about that era where we just remade the classics and just modernized them and threw in Robert Carradine or
1992. Who hurt you?
Bill Clinton, because he won the presidency. That's who hurt you.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We went there.
You did go there. Oh my god. Where's my book of pictures to paint?
I notice you have braces. I have braces too.
I'm just gonna go back to painting pictures now.
All right, you ready to get this movie? You ready to get to this this hot classic of It's a Wonderful Life?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
All right, so I wanted to preface that this movie had closing credits.
Yeah?
Well, didn't we talk about this? Like, not many movies, like pre 1970 something, had closing credits.
I think we mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, because like the movie. Well, this had like opening and closing credits, but
Yeah.
I think it was like very few movies had closing credits. I think like Star Wars, I read, was like one of the first ones that really like popularized it, and then like after Star Wars, then I don't know, every movie just had closing credits. That just became like the thing to do, became the norm.
Yeah.
So I think like people complained that they hated going to the movies. They had to sit through like coming attractions and then like a fucking 7-minute like opening credit sequence, and it's like, let's just fucking get to the movie. Like I don't have time for this. Like,
Okay, could you imagine people bitching back in the day about that? And now, like compared to now, you sit through like a half hour of fucking trailers before your movie even starts.
and not even like trailers. Like you get like commercials. You get like Coca-Cola commercials.
Yeah, like before the trailers, you get the stupid commercials and the trivia and all that crap where you're just waiting for the movie to start. And you're just hoping the weird guy you're on a date with isn't going to really try to make out with you in front of these kids.
Because the lights are still on.
Yeah, and you don't want to kiss him because you're like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, and the lights don't dim during like the trailers anymore.
True story.
The lights don't dim.
No, they really don't.
They stay on. So like that's usually.
And then you got like these asshole teenagers on their phones, so you get the glow of the phones throughout like the whole fucking thing. Like, bitches, put your fucking cell phones away.
Yeah.
Snapchat can wait 2 hours for you. My god.
Yeah, Kat just wants to give a hand job to her date before the movie starts, but the lights are on, and you know, back in the 90s, you know, you got to give hand jobs when the trailers because the lights dimmed. So it was great. The 90s were like a wild time for hand jobs.
Wow.
But in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and into the 60s, the movies had opening credits, so that was like the time to get the hand job out of the way. You know, when you got like a fun little like song and I don't know, like little like illustrated cards with like this cast and crew's name on there. That was like the hand job hour.
Oh my god.
Do you agree? Do you think that's what like 1940s women did to men, or even men to men?
I mean, I'm sure there were some women that did it to some men.
How many hand jobs do you think were done during the entire time that Gone with the Wind was in cinema, like worldwide? Like, how many hours worth of hand jobs do you think were done?
Oh my god, no. Why does it always have to go to this place?
Do you think it was like? Do you think 10 hours? 10 hours combined of like hand job time during Gone with the Wind?
Oh my god.
Should we do a research project?
No.
Should we get a grant and do a research project on like what is the most like hand jobbiest time in Gone with the Wind? Like, what's the slow points?
Oh my god.
Do you want to break up hand job corner with Christmas corner? We'll get back into the movie.
I never want to hear the words handjob corner again.
HJ, the HJ corner. Should we abbreviate it? HJC. All right. How does this movie start, Kat Halstead, the author?
Okay, we get a beautiful opening sequence, and then we get these freaking star things talking and glowing, and yeah.
Yeah, that, for some reason, that scared the hell out of me when I was a little kid, because there was, like, galaxies talking to each other.
Yeah.
And I would just like be afraid that I was gonna like walk outside one night, like, you know, I was like walking to my car. It was late at night. We're about to go down like Candy Cane Lane to look at the Christmas lights, and I would see like stars like glowing brightly, and they were talking to each other. And I'd hear their voices, and I'd be like, oh, like this, I don't know. This part always scared me for some reason. Kind of
like it just
kind of weird.
I get confused. Like it just I don't know. Like the whole way this movie plays out, I just find weird.
Well, I mean, I thought that part kind of cheapened the movie. Like, why couldn't we just got like a couple of like old dudes just like chilling around like clouds, kind of like when Alf is dead in his like fantasy sequence and he's like a talk show host in heaven. Like, we could have got something like that, maybe.
Yeah, like it's just I don't know. It's just so weird.
Yeah, but I
just don't enjoy it.
So we learn through exposition that there's a man in danger, a man by the name of George Bailey. He's at, you know, his wit's end. We don't know why yet. We don't know why, but a lot of people are praying for him. The whole town of Bedford Falls, they're praying for him. They just said, please take care of Mr. George tonight. We just hope he's all right. And the angels listened to him, and they decided to get, I don't know, like a rookie named Clarence, a rookie angel, to head down to Earth and, I don't know, try to sway him into surviving. Gloria Gaynor style, I will survive.
Yeah.
So we learned that Clarence is like a clumsy angel. Is that what we learned?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, he's just like that guy who's just little, who was probably really klutzy on Earth, and now he's trying to get his wings, and he just keeps like spilling the tea on the wrong person or whatever.
Yeah, he's probably like his angel dad is painting, maybe like painting the roof, and he's on a ladder, and I don't know, clumsy old Clarence just walks by and like trips over the ladder, the paint spills everywhere, and angel dad, I don't know, like breaks his hip. He has to, I don't know, convalesce for like 6 years because his hip is broken, and it sucks, and I don't know, he's gonna watch I don't know, whatever they watch in heaven. Maybe,
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe Johnny Carson, but this is before Johnny Carson was even on TV. So, I don't know, maybe there was like a funny vaudeville act that is now dead that they watch.
Maybe.
We then go into the story. We get to the hot story of the life and times of George Bailey, and we cut to, I don't know, when he was like super young. He was a young little tyke in his town, and they were like poor, and they were sledding on like shovels down a hill.
Like, yeah, they're just like sledding, and it's like, oh, here's what a good guy George is. He saves his little brother from drowning, but in the act of it, he like goes deaf in one ear.
Yeah, he goes deaf in one ear because it was so cold. The water was so cold, and he's now deaf in one ear. And then he gets a job down at Gower's Pharmacy, which is, I don't know, I guess like the hottest place in town. It's probably like
Well,
the only, like, this is before CVS and Rite Aid was around. You had like the old man who runs the shop, and
yeah, well, like back then it was also like the soda shop
oh yeah, the ice cream.
where you would go and you'd get like your strawberry phosphate or whatever.
Yeah, and like a ice cream, maybe an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
And there's this one gal in town, Mary, and Vi. Is it Violet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they both have the hots for.
Violet,
They both have the hots for young George Bailey, who's like the clerk. He's like the store clerk. He's like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years old or something.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, but back then kids, had jobs, so.
Yeah, kids had jobs when they were like 5. They had to like sweep the floor of the like mom and pop shop. We're making an ice cream cone for Mary, and Mary whispers into his bad ear, I love you, George Bailey. I'll always love you, but he can't hear it. He can't hear it with his other ear, even though her like face is right there.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can't hear it. He has no clue that this little girl has a crush on him.
And then he finds an old Western Union telegram on the counter, and it's a telegram to Mr. Gower, and it says, we regret to inform you that your son died of the flu, the great flu epidemic of 1919. And so he sees Mr. Gower. He's all like crying and drinking in the back room, and he's making some capsules, some little pill capsules for the little kid that lives down the street. I love that there's one like bottle that's just labeled poison, and Mr. Gower is so upset that he accidentally like takes the poison powder and puts it in the capsule, and he gives it to George to bring to the kid.
Well, he's so drunk, he's so upset, he's not paying attention. Let's be real.
He's not paying attention, and little George is in a dilemma because like Mr. Gower's yelling at him. He's like, if you don't deliver this, I'm gonna like whoop your ass or something, because you're allowed to whoop kids' asses back then.
Yeah, like for real.
So I don't know. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go run by Dad. My dad's building a loan office first, and see what he has to say.
Well, he sees this sign that says, ask Dad if you don't know what to do, or something like that.
Oh, it's like hanging above the door or something. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like some kind of like advertisement that was probably trying to get him to buy something, and it's like, ask Dad, and he's like, yeah, that's right, I'll go to the building and loan and ask my dad.
Yeah, Dad's in a hot business meeting with Mr. Potter, like the town Scrooge.
Yeah, that man's a Scrooge. I'm not a Scrooge. Mr. Potter's a fucking Scrooge.
Yeah, Mr. Potter sucks. Mr. Potter is like today's Donald Trump. That's the impression that I got. He's just some rich bitch who thinks he can like run the world, but it'll be us little men who take him down. Finally, it'll be us little guys, because they'll outwit him. Because Donald Trump only thinks of one thing, just like Mr. Potter only thinks of one thing, and that's money. He just takes a bath in fucking cash. Just rubs his genitalia with cash. That's just the kind of man Mr. Potter is, and the same kind of man Donald Trump is. He only cares about numbers.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Mr. Potter. So he's trying to out Mr. Mr. Bailey's like business out of town because I guess like Mr. Potter has like a grasp on like the entire town, but he like the only thing he can't like take full control of the building alone building. That's like the only thing. It's like his
Like he can't take control of like that business, and he wants to control everything.
yeah. It's the thorn on his side, and it's like an honest business because like most banks like suck, like they just want your money, but
Yeah.
the Bailey Bros building and loan like they're just like oh like you can't pay your loan this month. That's all right. Pay us next month if you can. And then next month, if you can, like, oh, well, just pay us next month. Like, pay what you can. It's just like it's like the honor society, I guess. Like,
Yeah, it's just like
they work on the honor code.
they're there trying to help these people like actually
Live.
get out from the Potter hell.
Yeah, because like
So.
the Potter hell, it's like he's basically just like a rich slumlord. He just like I don't know. He's created these like projects. The houses are in like shitty conditions, and the plumbing doesn't work probably, and
Yeah.
you know the super is probably never available. Like there's like probably like one super who controls like 50 buildings, and he can't be everywhere at once. So it takes him like 2 weeks to get to your problem. I don't know you probably get leaky roofs and stuff.
Like he's the super you've never actually seen.
Yeah.
Except for like when you're late on the rent.
Yeah, and then unlike the Bailey Bros, Mr. Potter will like kick you out. He'll kick you on the street, and you're gonna be a beggar. You'd be a beggar and beg for your life. So yeah, shout out to the Bailey Bros for, I don't know, like wanting to make a change for once in our lives. They want to feel real good, want to make a difference.
Yeah.
I almost just went into Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson right there.
Oh, geez.
I gotta make a change for what's in my life. I'm gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make, I wanna pull up the collar on my favorite winter coat. Sorry, Cat Halstead. The other. Sorry. Michael Jackson's back, guys. He's back from the dead.
Fuck my life.
Fuck your life into pieces. This is Cat's last resort.
What's so fucking wonderful about this? Maybe I need a clearance. Maybe that's what I fucking need.
I know. Cat's going to be on her way to work today, and she's going to drive by a bridge and just be like, you know what? I'm done, girls. I'm done. And I don't know, fucking Clarabelle, because it'll be a lady.
I can't be on the phones again.
It'll be a lady angel named Clarabelle, and she'll jump in the water, and you'll dive. You know what? You wouldn't go in and rescue her, would you? You'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! I'm late."
Be like, this bitch doesn't need your help.
Yeah. You'll just Snapchat it and then call 911. Like Snapchat it, be like, "Look at this bitch."
Be like, this fucking angel showed up.
Yeah, look at this bitch diving in the water.
Bye.
I gotta go I gotta go knit myself a toboggan.
Knit a toboggan?
Yeah.
What do you think a toboggan is?
It's a winter hat. That's what they call them down here in the South, girl. I learned that the other day. We call them beanies, but down here in the Southern America, they call them toboggans.
Toboggan is like a sled.
That's what I said. But now that I've been schooled at the Southern Charm School, I have to call it by its proper term, a toboggan. Ooga.
No, it's you're talking about something totally okay. Southern people, you're wrong.
What happens next? I don't even know where we are in the movie.
Okay, so George gets older and he he stops the old pharmacist from like giving the kids poison because he's like, sir, look what we're gonna do. Look what you're gonna do. This is why I didn't take the medicine there. Yada yada. And he gets slapped in the ear and starts bleeding and shit.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, no, like you were so drunk, you almost like killed that little boy. And the Mr. Guy was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, George Bailey. Come here and give your old boss a hug.
And then like years later, he's old enough to finally be going to college after he put in 4 years at the savings and loan.
Yeah,
save up the money or the building and loan, whatever.
Yeah, he was an apprentice at his dad's company. He finally like grows the balls to like ask Mary out, but it's like the night before he's leaving for school.
No. He doesn't even want to ask Mary out. He's just like he's ready to go to college, see the world, become like an architect or something. And he's ready to like leave this town behind, but he decides to go to like the graduation dance with his brother because he's like, why am I hanging out with my parents?
Oh, because isn't his younger brother and Mary are the same age, right?
Yeah.
Mary's like 4 years younger, and so she's just graduating. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right. Because they're at the school dance or whatever, like the final night of school dance.
The graduation dance, yeah.
And they're doing the Charleston. They have like big Charleston dance off in the school gym.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess George Bailey is like a hot dancer. He was really good at that Charleston. Look at him go. Like his legs were like all over the place. He looked like fucking Fred Astaire. He probably went to the Fred Astaire School of Dance.
Probably.
And then I don't know. Mary went to the Ginger Rogers School of Dance, maybe.
Whatever they did, it worked until like the jealous boy played by Alfalfa from the Little Rascals.
Yeah, Sam Wainwright, was that his name?
No. There was another boy, like the boy who actually like was all jealous and trying to get up on Mary. That was Alfalfa from the Little Rascals.
Oh yeah. Sam is the guy that has also has a crush on Mary too, though, right?
Yeah, Sam is another guy who has a thing for Mary, but he's like a guy who's like I think closer to George's age.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. All right. Okay, so Alfalfa, I guess he has the other guy had the key to like open up the gym floor to turn into a pool.
Yeah.
So they decided to do that.
Which apparently was George's idea. Because he was jealous that this guy was dancing with Mary. Because he wanted to dance with Mary.
You said George. Did you mean Sam? You said George.
No. George is the one who had the idea for the pool to be under the dance floor.
Okay. I thought it was the other guy, but I don't know. Maybe I missed that hot deet.
No. The principal, like, at one point comes to George and goes, hey, that was a great idea you had about putting the gym floor, the pool under the gym floor.
Okay.
Like, the people in this town apparently can't do jack shit without George Bailey telling them how to do it.
I apparently missed all that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was on Wikipedia at that time reading about Clarence, the made-for-TV 1992 sequel.
Maybe.
But yeah, listen to Kat Halstead. She knows all. She remembers like the tiny details, such as that. Look at you, girl. You go, girl. All right, so Alfalfa sticks the key in like the motor that opens up the dance floor.
Everybody falls in.
Everyone falls into the pool. It's fun.
Even like the principal jumps in.
Yeah, like you think he was like Mr. Belden, like he wanted to be like cool with the kids. He wanted to be cool with the gang.
Totally.
I bet Harry, George's younger brother, was like the Zach Morris of the school. He just like looked out to him. He's like, Zach, I want to be your friend. Come on, Zach.
Yep, totally.
Hang with me. And Alfalfa was Screech.
Oh my God, yes.
And Mary was Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And Violet was Lisa? Maybe a Lisa Turtle?
Yeah, definitely not Jessie.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe we don't have Jessie. Jessie never came. The Jessie of this world wished she didn't exist. So, they poofed, she was gone.
Yeah, and there's no Slater either.
Yeah, there's no Slater because no reason there's
Slater
no Slater.
Sucks.
Yeah, Slater sucks. Slater's a beach ball.
So, yeah. So the pool opens, everybody ends up in the water, everybody has to like find dry clothes to go home in. Mary ends up in a bathrobe, George in like an old football uniform, he's walking her home, it's like really romantic, like it's obviously she is crazy about him.
Yeah, they're singing that Buffalo Gal song.
And he still doesn't get it.
They walk by this like old rickety house. It's like, I don't know, the house that the witch lives on, like in every neighborhood. Mm-hmm. like the last house on the left.
Yeah.
And George is like, oh, look at this old shitty house. And Mary's like, oh, like every time I walk by this house, it's like my dream house. Like I imagine like growing old in this house. And George is like, yeah, whatever. This house is a piece of garbage.
Yeah, it's like her dream house, and he's like, bitch, what?
And he takes a rock and he throws it at like the second floor window, and the window smashes. And I guess he made a wish.
Yeah, you make a wish and you throw a rock to see if you can break the window. If you break the window, you're going to get your wish to come true. He breaks the window, but then Mary, who has a far more powerful wish, breaks the window too with hers.
And in this world, magic exists. So I don't know, wishes come true, except for George's.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Mary's wish usurped George's wish, and
I think hers usurped his. Yeah.
So Mary like runs away. Oh, like they're like kind of like being like playful, like in front of this like other house in which is like this old guy and like a tank, this like fat dude in a tank top is like outside like reading a newspaper and like drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he's just like sitting on his porch. Like I don't know what time of night it is, what time of day it is, but this fascinates me that he's just sitting on his porch.
I mean, because I guess it's all right. So they must have they graduated high school, so it's probably like June-ish, May, June-ish.
Yeah. And
it's like a nice night. It's a nice hot summer night, and I don't know. Does this take place in New York? Is this like outside New York City?
Upstate New York.
Okay, so it's probably like one of those like hot, like humid New York summer nights.
Yeah.
It's been hot all day, so it's like the AC didn't exist, so. And it's hot as fuck in the house, hot as balls. His wife's a nag. His wife's like a 1919 nag, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go outside. Prohibition hasn't hit yet, so he's outside fucking, I don't know, down in his whiskey. I don't know, reading the Bedford Falls Times, and he just sees these fucking two teens like giggling and like, I don't know, like about to fuck outside. He yells something and it frightens them, and like Mary runs off, but George like steps on like the bottom of the robe, so the robe comes off, and now like Mary's like buck naked, and she like hides behind a bush.
Yeah.
George is like playing like with this. He's like, "Oh, I got your robe, Mary. Why don't you like come out and get it?" And she's like, "No, you come in and give it to me." And he's like about to do that. And all of a sudden, this like this fucking old timey car comes flying around the corner with like that weird like horn that goes "Auga, auga."
Yeah.
And they're like, George, your dad had a stroke. You gotta come quick. And he's like, all right. He just like throws the robe at the bush that Mary's in, and he hops in the car and they drive off. And I don't know. We cut to like a few months later, and
It's not even a few months later. Like
they're like finalizing the will.
He's at the building alone, and he's about to bounce. He is ready to get the fuck out of this town and go to college. That's all this man wants to do is fucking go to college at this point. Like, he just wants to get out of fucking town. And guess what? Because Mr. Potter's trying to close down the building and loan if George isn't the one running it, according to the board of trustees.
The only way the board of trustees will agree to keep the building and loan, the Bailey Bros building and loan open, is if George stays around and runs it. So, I don't know, he feels bad because he didn't want like his uncle to be, I don't know, jobless, penniless. All his friends, like, because like he has like a small staff. There's like a fun, sassy lady, like secretary. There's like a few dudes that work there.
Yeah, his cousin Lily.
Yeah, he feels bad because he knows he's gonna leave, and they're gonna run out of money very quickly. They have no skill set, so they're not gonna be able to work anywhere else. Mr. Potter for sure won't hire them.
Yeah.
Fuck no, they won't go. So George is like, I guess I'll just stick around. Fuck it, I'll do a good deed. Maybe I'll just stay until like I can get things afloat. And I don't know, then maybe I'll bail at that point, but...
Well, like, his new plan becomes, okay, my brother will go to college, and instead, in his 4 years when he's done, he's going to come back and run the building and loan, and then I'm going to go to college.
Yeah, he's going to be like that. He's going to be like that old dude at college that's like almost 30, or maybe even 30. And all like the 18-year-olds are giggling like, dude, who's that fucking old man in our class?
Like, why is this old guy in our class?
Who's that fucking old dude? Look at the fucking weird clothes he's wearing. He's like old enough to be our dad.
Like, yeah. So, he puts in his 4 years. The brother is freaking coming home. And then guess what happened? The brother freaking comes home and he's got a wife, and the wife's dad has a job for him. So he's not going to work at the building and loan. She's giving me a really good job where I'm going to make lots of money. So, sorry, Georgie boy. You do all this sacrificing for me and none for you. Bye, bitch.
There's a big party. There's a big, like, wedding party. And George is he feels like, I don't know, like, he's sad. He's a little sad sack right now. And his mom like tells him that, oh, Mary's back in town. She just graduated college herself too. Maybe you should go see her. And
well, his mom called Mary and was like, oh yeah, George is on his way.
But on the way over there, George bumps into Violet, and like they almost go on a date. But George like suggests that like they go up, like they hike like a mountain that's like 10 miles away, and like spend the night there, and like run barefoot through like the meadow. And she's like, I ain't fucking doing that. I want to go to like the fucking dance club and I don't know, do the cha-cha. She's not romantic at all. I don't know, she just wants to give handjobs at the movie theater. That's like the type of girl she is.
Yeah, that's pretty much Violet. Thanks.
And we're not shaming her for that. We're not shaming her for that. She's allowed to do that. She's allowed to make a man happy. And she can make herself happy. So she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Mm-hmm. It's her hot body. She can give a handjob if she wants. All right. I don't know. I guess George just gets upset. And he ends up walking by Mary's house. And she knows he's going to walk by, so she's, like, waiting by the window.
Like, she knows he's coming because his mom called. Because, like, I get the feeling that the mom, like, George's mom, like, knows what's up. And she knows that George has a thing for Mary. George is at that point where he's not going to admit it unless he absolutely has to. Because he still wants that life of traveling and seeing the world and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, and I think the mom's like, you know what? If I can, like, push George and Mary together, I bet you he might stay like a little bit longer. Maybe he'll like actually stick around. But if he doesn't get together with Mary, you know what? I guess maybe he will leave. Like maybe he'll go. So what ends up happening is George goes in the house.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a jerk to Mary. He's kind of a dick to her.
He's a total ass to Mary. And the thing is, Mary's mom is like, why is George Bailey here? Like, this other guy is gonna call you from New York, Mary. Like, come on, girl. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, because I guess Sam's been living in New York for the last like couple of years, and he occasionally calls back and checks up on Mary. And I guess tonight was gonna be the night he's gonna call back and check up on her, and he was like due to call any minute now.
Yeah, like he's due to call any minute from his like party lifestyle in New York, where he's making millions in plastics.
Little Mr. Gatsby himself. He ends up calling. Mary like gets on the phone, like kind of like begrudgingly. Mary says something like, "Oh, Sam, guess who's here? George." And he's like, "Oh, George, I need to talk to George. Call him back." Because like George is about to leave. George comes back, and they're both like on the phone together. And he's talking about how he wants to turn soybeans into plastic and start this wild new rage called plastic. And you got to get it now, like while it's hot. And George is like, "Fuck that." He's like, "You know what?" He ends up sticking around and marries Mary. He gets together with Mary.
Yeah. They share this super hot kiss that was so passionate the censors cut part of it out.
Yep. And then, I don't know, they fuck like rabbits and have like, it seems like 11 kids, but it's only like 4, but it just seemed like a lot of kids.
It's only 4.
Yeah. But I don't know. 1 kid is too many.
1 kid is a handful, let me tell you.
Yeah. And they're all like close to like the same age. So, Mary popped that baby out and fucking 13 months later there was another baby. So.
Yep. Irish twins.
Didn't have condoms apparently at Gower's Pharmacy. He didn't believe in condoms.
Back in the day, really, you were expected to have a ton of kids, though.
Yeah, I remember when a couple years ago, like 2014, playing Cards Against Humanity with my grandma. It was on Thanksgiving night, and she got a little tipsy. And the card that she drew was the word condom, and she's like, "Condoms?" She's like, "We didn't use those." And yeah, that's why she had like fucking 17 kids.
Like, that's why there's so many fucking kids, Grandma.
And then she's like, "But I hope you guys use them," is what she said after that. Yeah, shout out to Grandma.
Awesome.
Drunk Grandma, everybody. Call us. Come do a soundbite.
I've never interacted with a drunk grandma.
Oh, they're fun. They're all fun. All right. So, now we kind of get like a big time jump, and years go by. World War II happens. Harry goes off to war. George doesn't go to war.
Like, all the guys go off to war except for George, because he can't, because he's deaf in one ear.
Yeah, but he runs, like, the local...
And so he, like, runs all the crap at home, and, like, the neighbors hate him because he's, like, doing the air raid whistles and all that crap.
Yeah, he's coordinating, like, gathering all, like, the scrap materials to donate to the war effort. Mm-hmm. Mary's, like, in charge of, like, like, the USO show. Mr. Potter's like the draft manager, which I thought was funny. World War II comes and goes. The war's over. And Harry comes home, but he's like a decorated war hero. So apparently he stopped like a suicide bomber from going into like a boat maybe.
Yeah, like he saved like a whole bunch of guys.
He was like a fighter pilot, I think.
And stuff. And he gets like a huge honor. Like he gets to meet congressmen and all that crap.
Yeah, so he goes over. He goes to fucking has like dinner with President fucking Harry S. Truman and his family. And he's set to come back to Bedford Falls. It's Christmas Eve, I think. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve now.
Yeah.
There's a big snowstorm coming into town. A big snowstorm's going to blow into town. And but it ends up being a tough day because I forget the uncle's name. Uncle Matt.
Uncle Billy?
Yeah, Uncle Billy. He's supposed to go down to the bank and deposit like $8,000 in cash, which is probably like, I don't know, like $500,000 in fucking 1944 money, or whatever the fuck year it is. So he's set to go down to deposit the cash, and he's at the bank. He has the fucking wallet of cash with him, the little envelope, and he's filling up the deposit slip. And Mr. Potter comes in, and he's like, Mr. Potter's like an old as fuck man now. He's like in a wheelchair. People got to push him around. He gets all flustered when he sees Mr. Potter, and he accidentally like drops like the envelope of cash like into a newspaper that he hands to Mr. Potter. Mr. Potter steals the money because he knows that the bank examiner is going to be at the Bailey Bros building a loan to do like their quarterly audit or something, whatever the fucking bank examiners do.
Like, it's just a very, very bad day. And of course, you've always got Mr. Potter, like, looming over. He's fucking Mr. Burns. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's the Mr. Burns, the Ebenezer Scrooge, the Donald Trump of this fantasy world. And he, like, George Bailey, like, changes the town. He, like, he gets like most of those people out of the slums. He's building like what's it called, like Bailey Park or something. It's a little
Yeah, like he's got like a nice little development going up with houses that people actually own instead of renting these like cramped little one room tenements from Mr. Potter.
Yeah, we see this like we get like a scene where they show this like family of like 10 move out of this like fucking one building shack. They get like a limo ride to like this hot new neighborhood. It's like the Arrested Development neighborhood. It's like the model house.
Mm-hmm.
They go in. It's like a press op. There's like pictures and I don't know. They fucking break bread and I don't know, smash a champagne glass or something. And it's kind of funny.
I don't know, whatever a huge Italian family is going to do when they move into a new house.
Yeah, so like that happens. But Mr. Potter like takes the $8,000 cash and he's like, ha, those fucking assholes.
He's like, haha, they're mine. Wahaha. I'm finally taking down the building and loan. Like, dude, really? Like, you're this desperate? Like, you're this freaking greedy, man? Like, chill the F out.
Yeah, he sucks. So because Uncle Billy doesn't deposit like the $8,000 cash in the bank, like the books are going to be off. So I guess it looks like that the Baileys are like embezzling their clients.
Embezzling or something.
They're basically like embezzling their clients. I mean, I feel like if they just said like we lost, like we misplaced the money, like it's not like the way money is today. Like I don't know, they just like kept it in a safe, and it's like we were robbed. That's all they had to say. Like I don't know, like but I guess there's no insurance. Maybe there's no like yeah. I'm not sure how like businesses worked back then.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I'd feel like that you wouldn't just take $8,000 at once to the bank though. You'd probably take it in smaller increments, like over time. That just seemed the safer bet.
Unless like Uncle Billy was doing it because of the like audit thing or something. I don't know.
I feel like that Uncle Billy's just like not the best like business runner, like businessman. Like he sucks at being a businessman. He waits till the last minute, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. He's very forgetful.
Yeah, and like George doesn't have time for this because he's like, I feel like George is kind of like the PR guy. He's out there doing the press ops for the business, and Uncle Billy's the one supposed to be like, oh, you're gonna do the bank runs, but he just forgets to do it every day. And he's like, oh shit, it's Christmas Eve. I better do this now because the bank examiner's coming, and when they like request the books, it's gonna the money's gonna be off. So
yeah, like
and yeah, he loses it.
The whole thing just like sucks.
Yeah. So now Mr. Potter is like, I'm gonna call the police. So he calls the police, reports the Bailey Bros. Basically says that they're going to be wanted for fraud and embezzlement. And George goes home and I don't know, he gets into a fight with his family. Like the kids are being shitty. Like one of the kids is like playing Hark the Herald Angels song or whatever, like over and over on the piano because he's trying to learn it for like the big party that night. I don't know, like all the other kids are like fighting. Mary's just kind of like, she's stressed because the families are coming and she's going to get the cooking done, the cleaning. She's going to trim the tree. And I don't know, she needs help from George, but George is like, fuck you guys. And he like runs out of the house and he goes and gets drunk down at the bar, down at Martini's.
Yeah.
Something happens with the teacher, Mrs. Welch.
Okay, so the kid, one of the kids like won a flower as a prize and she didn't want to like let it wilt in her coat, so she didn't button up her jacket or something, and the teacher didn't make her because like the teacher's like, I'm picking my battles today, you know?
Because it sucks to be a teacher.
And so like the mom gets the teacher on the phone finally to like talk to her about it, and George just like rips into her the way I like rip into assholes trying to like steal money from me over the phone.
Yes. So I guess because the little girl Zuzu, yeah, her name is Zuzu.
After some freaking cookies, people.
Zabba Zabba Zoo or something. What is it?
Ginger snaps. So Zuzu ginger snaps.
Yeah, so I guess Zuzu walked home with like out her jacket buttoned up. She caught like a cold, and this was like the era like if you got a cold, it could like become pneumonia like 2 days later, and then you would die because it's 1946, and then we didn't have modern medicine and I don't know, fucking Dayquil and NyQuil and shit. So kids died. Kids like died all the time from this shit.
Yeah.
George lays it into Mrs. Welch. On the phone, Mrs. Welch like gets upset and hangs up the phone. Then Mr. Welch calls back and he's like, if I fucking see you, Mr. Bailey, I'm gonna fucking clock you in the face. George Bailey like he gets pissed at his family and like I don't know, knocks over a table and shit and like rips down a bunch of Christmas decorations. And he's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to the bar. He goes to Martini's and he just like I don't know, gets drunk real quick and then he ends up bumping into the teacher's husband. The teacher's husband clocks him in the face.
And they both get thrown out of the bar.
They get thrown out of the bar. George goes down to the fucking bridge, and he's like, fuck this world, and he's going to jump in the bridge. He's about to do it, and then all of a sudden Clarence shows up, and he dives into the water.
Okay, and this is the point where I've realized the movie technically only had like 20-something minutes left, and I felt like I had been watching this for 10 years. This movie just like dragged the fuck on.
I mean, it does.
Like, I feel like I aged watching this. Like, if I go look in the mirror, I feel like I'll look 37 when I normally look 25.
I mean, it does take a long time to get to the point. I will throw it at that. Like, if this was movie were made today, it would probably be like cut into like 2 installments that would like be out over like 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
Like an Avengers movie. This point in the movie right now where George is about to like dive and like kill himself, this would be like the Thanos like snaps his fingers moment right here. And we have to like wait for the next one to come out like a year later. Clarence dives in the water. George saves him. They're now in like I guess like the bridge keeper's room. I don't know. Like I guess like bridges have a bridge keeper in these days.
Yeah, like I don't even know. Like I don't know. Like the things get weird. They're both in like their pajamas and
they're because they're wet. It's cold. It's a snowy Christmas Eve night, and they're warming the clothes over the fire. And Clarence like has like old timey clothes, and he has a copy of Tom Sawyer, and he's talking about like, oh, I can't wait for like the new Mark Twain book to come out or something. And they're all like confused, and he's like hinting that he's like an angel and that he did this on purpose to save George's life. And like George is like, I don't believe you, and he's just like, I just wish I was never born at all. Like Clarence gives George's wish, and we then get like a cutscene of like what the world would have been like if George. I don't know. The town's different. The town's poor. Harry Bailey died.
Because this town, nobody else in this fucking town could stand up to Potter except for George fucking Bailey.
Yeah, these town are a bunch of pussies. These townsfolk suck. So yeah, the town's a slum.
The only thing that wasn't wrong with this town, like the only thing missing from this town was a Nazi invasion.
Instead of like all like the little like the movie theater and like Gower's Pharmacy, it's just like a bunch of strip clubs.
Yeah.
And like it's like a bunch of like all night like dance clubs and strip clubs and stuff like that. Harry died, so he never saved that like I guess those soldiers from dying. So Harry died as a young boy in the ice incident. George's mother like runs like a boarding house for like wayward teens or something. I don't even know. Mary was an old maid. She never got married. She's like a spinster, like a crazy cat lady.
It's just blah.
Something's up with Violet. I think Violet's just like a crack whore. I think I don't even know.
Lady of the evening, I think, is probably the best way to describe Violet at that point.
Yeah. The bar that he always hangs out instead is like a weird fucking even crazier bar than it was because like everyone in the town is a drunk because I don't know, they hate their lives. So yeah, it's a shitty circumstances. So then George, you know what? I wish I was bored after all. And
yeah,
Clarence snaps him back into reality. He runs back home and he's like, I don't even care. I'll go to jail. Fuck you guys. Like, you know, I love you, family. I'll do my time. And that's when the townsfolk all come in. They all scrimped and saved up like they all like donated money to pay for I don't know the missing money, and it's great.
Let's be real. Most of these people are actually probably paying George money they owe him.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
come on,
because George never called in the loans.
Yeah,
he like never collected this money, and yeah, so like that was kind of weird. I was just like, they're just giving like the money that they owed.
That's pretty much what I figured these people did. Is they just like gave George the money they owed.
I don't know. It was enough to satisfy the bank examiner. Mr. Potter's like evil plans were thwarted.
Doesn't Mr. Potter even show up and like give him the $8,000 he like took earlier? Or does he just show up?
I feel like no, because like he would have had to have been like wheelchaired across town, and he was like, fuck that. He was a grump. He was an old grump, so he probably just stayed in his mansion all alone and just fucking, I don't know, counted his other fucking cash that he had.
I could have sworn he shows up. I don't remember. I was just like, oh my god, this movie's finally almost over. It's almost done. Finally.
Then they all sing the fucking song they sing at like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's over. The end.
And then the little girl's like, every teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its
Yep,
wings.
and old Clarence finally got his wings, and he can help his dad paint the sailing without knocking over the ladder, because now he'll fly up and paint the sailing for him, so...
Now he can see because he has his wings. There was that part when he was like a star like thing, and they're like, look, Clarence is like, I can't see. It's like, oh, right, you don't have your wings. You can't see without your wings. Like, what?
Oh, yeah, that was the very...
What?
That was the very...
What is this movie? This movie is awful. It is awful. Why does everybody love it? Everybody loves it because they watched it a million times, because they aired it a million times when we were younger, which actually, you know what? I don't think I ever like came across these marathons as a kid. Maybe it just wasn't on my radar, but I don't remember, like, this was not a movie that people watched all the time around me.
All right, so I remember this being on all the time when I was a kid, and my parents always watch it, and I just like... It just looked boring to me. I was like, this movie looks boring. I was like, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
But then when I was a senior in high school, I took like a film class. Mm-hmm. And the teacher like introduces to like all these classic movies, and this is one of them. And I was like, oh, like I like this movie. And that was the first time I saw it, and the time we watched it right now is the second time I saw it. So I've only seen this movie twice.
Wait, you like... That's the only times you've seen this?
I saw it when I was a senior in high school in the year 2000, and then I saw it yesterday in the year 2018. So it's been 18 years since I've seen it.
Okay, so like the first time I saw this, I want to say I was like somewhere between 9 and 11.
I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it.
And my dad was watching it on the TV in the kitchen. Because that's where my dad would watch TV. He would watch in the kitchen, he'd drink his beer, and maybe he'd be like baking bread or something. Or making some sort of meat.
Making brownies.
Like on a Saturday afternoon. And it wasn't like Christmas time.
Oh, like he watched this in the summer or something?
Like it was like, yeah, like AMC or whatever was airing it in the summer. So I didn't know, like and I remember watching because Donna Reed was in. Like that's what pulled me in.
Oh, okay.
Because at that point I knew who Donna Reed was.
Because of Nick at Night? She's Mrs. Stone.
Exactly, yeah. And then like that's the same thing though, like with A Christmas Story. I don't think I saw A Christmas Story at Christmas originally. I saw it like in some random summer month when my dad was watching it in the kitchen. And I remember asking my dad, like, if he didn't say, oh, fudge, what did he say? And my dad was like, it's better you don't know.
That's wild. All right.
And like a couple hours later, I heard my dad curse and I put it together.
Can we talk about how the Amazon, because I watch this on Amazon Prime, because it's currently on Amazon Prime, it's fucking colorized and it looks so fucking weird.
Yeah, because I watched that too.
It's so fucking weird to me that like the colorized version of it, it just looks like, it really looks like, it cheapened the look of it, because I think it's like meant to be, this movie's it was filmed and shot in black and white.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be seen that way.
Well, okay, so there was like, I was reading something about how there was like, Frank Capra was supposed to have it colorized, but like it never got done. Like it was actually supposed to be in color, but it never got done until like the 80s when some company was like, ooh, the trademark is expired. It's in the public domain. We can colorize this now.
Yeah, so I guess, so what happened, to shoot a movie in Technicolor back in the day was like really expensive.
Yeah.
It cost a lot of money. And very few movies around this time were shot in color. Like I think like, Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz, like they made like, I guess they only did it for movies that they knew were going to make the money back. That's my guess.
Yeah.
And at the time of its release, It's a Wonderful Life, like it wasn't like a blockbuster. This is like a movie that became popular like later on after like.
This is a movie that failed.
Yeah, it failed at the box office, rediscovered years later. Because I guess, when television came along, they would start playing like old movies, and it just became like a weird Christmas tradition. Like NBC or one of the networks would play it like every year on Christmas time, and that's when people fell in love with it, and it became like a tradition.
Yeah.
So that's like the story of like how it became popular. But in the 80s, was it Ted Turner? Was he the one who was scooping up all these movies and trying to colorize them?
Yeah, Ted Turner did it a lot. He would like colorize stuff, and people would like flip out because he like colorized Casablanca.
Yeah, and
people like lost their shit.
And a lot of it is just very like poorly done. I think like it looks weird. Like when you take something that was shot in black and white and colorized it, it just looks way too fucking weird to me. And I was reading that Jimmy Stewart, like in like the 80s when they like he like fought like real hard to like keep his movies from being colorized, but I guess he lost that battle because they fucking colorized this movie.
Yeah.
And another weird thing though is Amazon. A lot of the old timey stuff they have on there, they're colorized. Like they colorized the Three Stooges in color is on there, and it's fucking weird to me. Like I can't watch it.
Really?
Yeah, it looks funny. And then like that first season of Bewitched that was colorized.
Yeah.
Like that's why if you listen to the Bewitched episode like a few episodes back, I'd say like how like Darren looks funny like in color.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if like that's just the way he looks or if he just looks weird like because he was colorized like post filming.
Because, like, I watched black and white for both times. I watched it both versions, so.
Yeah, and it just, like, just leave it alone. Like, leave Britney alone. Leave Britney alone. That's all I have to say.
Leave the black and white movies alone.
Yeah, just let him be, girl. Let him be.
We're all over the place with pop culture references. Oh my god, we're such messes. Such messes. Me with my purple hair and you just like lounging.
Yeah, I'm in sweatpants, kicking my legs up.
Yeah, he's been doing rocket kicks this whole time.
Do you have any last minute talk of It's a Wonderful Life? Anything you want to add? Anything we missed?
I will never watch this movie again.
I could see that.
I'm done.
Maybe I'll wait another 18 years before I watch it.
Yeah, like if I watch it again, it's gonna be a really long time. It's not one that comes on every year. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta watch it. It's more like, oh crap, I gotta watch this, don't I? Because somebody else will put it on, and I'm just like, no.
I'm sorry. I think it's a good lesson on life. You know, just because you're stuck in your hometown and you got to take care of your family and your fucking shitty uncle, and you got to run a business. You're in a business that you don't want to be. You really want to, be out there in the world and design bridges and make fucking skyscrapers.
Maybe it just hits too close to home for me.
So I don't know. Maybe you'll have your own It's a Wonderful Life moment this Christmas. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned for Kat's Christmas meltdown coming in a few days.
It's coming. Hey, I got all my Christmas shopping done, so I might as well have a meltdown.
Maybe someone will put something too much of something in your eggnog and bawl your eyes out. You never know. All right.
Who knows?
What do we? Are we gonna close the book on Christmas, or do you want to do like one more? Do you want to like?
I think we can fit in one more. What were we originally? Okay, so I know we were originally planning a specific one, but I don't know if we can find it without subscribing to something.
All right, I'll let you pick because I made you sit through 7 years of It's a Wonderful Life.
So
I'll sit through 7 years of a Hallmark movie.
12 years, dude. 12 years. It aged me 12 years.
We talked about doing a Hallmark movie. We wanted to close Christmas with a classic Hallmark movie. We did Mariah Carey's Christmas last year. I feel like we need to do something that'll...
A Christmas Melody, and that is a freaking classic, and it's amazing, and it's on my DVR. I haven't gotten to watch it this year yet.
I'll let you pick our next Christmas parable.
Yes, I don't know what it's going to be yet, because I gotta,
do you want to
find one we can both watch legally.
All right, so we'll be surprised. When you open up your Spotify or iTunes or Google Play, whatever the fuck you listen to this on.
Are we on Spotify? I thought they were too picky.
There's a way you can add it, and it looked too complicated, so I figured I'd let you deal with that shit.
Oh, thanks.
Well, Kat's gonna deal with the Spotify and the merch.
Fine, I'm calling up my friend Joka, and he's gonna help me with merch.
All right, you call up the Joker. The actual Joker, or like you have a friend named Joker?
I have a friend whose name is Joka.
Ha 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 Joker, or like spelled differently?
Spelled differently. Like, okay, remember those like songs I've sent you?
Those like rap videos?
Yeah, those rap ones.
Oh yeah, Kat has a friend that's a rapper. Maybe he can make us a theme song.
I have several friends that are rappers.
Do you think he can make us a theme song?
You know what? I bet if I will message the boys right now. Hold on. Where's that damn app to do that?
Do they listen to the podcast?
Said they want to, but I don't know if they've actually listened.
Well, tell them to listen to like a bunch of episodes, and maybe they can do like a rap and like reference like a bunch of stuff that we always talk about.
Okay, if I see them today at work, I'll talk to them about it.
All right, I will pay them money, but I don't have that much. I'll give them like $20. tell them I'll Venmo them $20.
Okay, I'll tell them.
And they have to listen to a couple episodes to hear our words and hear the stuff we talk about, and I don't know, maybe they can like reference things like the Doctor, and I don't know, handjob corner and conspiracy corner and everything. So I don't know. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll drop this on our hot New Year's Eve episode. Maybe we'll.
Oh my god!
I'm excited. I'm excited for what 2019 has to hold. We'll have a hot new theme song. And do you think they can even use like the our theme song as the background music in it? Maybe.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to them.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just spitballing right here. So who knows? Who knows? But in the meantime, where can you follow our wacky adventures?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept invitations.
Hell yeah.
You can find us at averyspecialpodcast.com or saltyrockmedia.com.
And as always, Kat Halstead, the author and friend of rappers.
Bye!
Watch the skies for talking stars.
Oh god, it's such a mess. Such a mess.